Imagine a land where vast, arid deserts stretch as far as the eye can see. A harsh, unforgiving landscape where life struggles to survive. Now picture this same land gradually transforming into a thriving forest, teeming with greenery, wildlife, and hope. This remarkable metamorphosis is unfolding in China, where an audacious mission is underway to turn deserts into lush, vibrant woodlands. But what drives this ambitious endeavor? What motivates China to pour resources, manpower, and innovation into reclaiming its desolate lands? What strategic advantages does China seek to gain from its reforestation efforts? How do these initiatives align with China's long-term goals for economic and environmental sustainability? And perhaps most intriguingly, what does China's ambitious vision for its landscapes signify for the nation's identity and global influence? We'll talk about all this, but before we go into the details, we would like you to subscribe to our channel so you never miss on our upcoming videos. China, with its ancient history and modern dynamism, is facing an environmental challenge of unprecedented proportions. As climate change is intensifying and desertification threatens vast swaths of its territory, the urgency to act has never been greater. In this pursuit, China is not merely planting trees, it is rewriting the narrative of ecological restoration, one forest at a time. And from the windswept dunes of the Gobi Desert to the rocky expanses of the Loess Plateau, China's Green Revolution is reshaping landscapes, livelihoods, and the very fabric of our planet. The biggest push for China to go for afforestation and reforestation was rapid desertification. The Gobi Desert, the sixth largest in the world, is expanding at a rate of 2,400 sq.km per annum and is threatening 400 million hectares of farmland and the food security of over 1 billion people. This desertification is costing China around $54 billion annually in lost productivity and sandstorm damage. Forests will help in stabilizing dunes, while acting as windbreakers, reducing wind speeds by up to 50%, thus preventing the encroachment of desert on fertile land. Secondly, the industrial prowess and development that China witnessed in the last 2 decades came with its own consequences and took a heavy toll on the environment, exacerbating the climate change process. Today, China is the world's largest emitter of CO2, with emissions reaching 9.9 gigaton in 2021. Afforestation can significantly offset carbon emissions, with each mature tree absorbing 2 kilograms of CO2 annually. Thus, forests will act as carbon sinks, absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere and storing it in biomass and soil. Expanding forest cover will help mitigate climate change by reducing atmospheric CO2 levels. Thirdly, China is home to 10% of the world's known plant species, many of which are found in vulnerable desert ecosystems. Desertification leads to habitat loss and species decline, thus decreasing biodiversity. The creation of new forests will provide a habitat for diverse plant and animal life, which resultantly will promote biodiversity and ecological resilience. This, in turn, will support ecosystem services like pollination, pest control, and water regulation. China's impetus to turn its deserts into forests is not merely because of environmental distresses, but several other factors like economic benefits, food security, and geopolitical apprehensions also fuel this drive. The forestry sector accounts for an unearned $570 billion in China's GDP, employing millions of people. Planting and managing forests creates jobs in nurseries, planting, and forest management. Forests, by providing timber, medicinal plants, and non-timber forest products, support rural economies and generate income. Besides this, ecotourism in forested areas will further contribute to economic development. Another daunting challenge that China faces is feeding its vast population of 1.4 billion people when the arable land available is limited. This fear is further compounded by the threat of desertification. Desertification jeopardizes farmland productivity, exacerbating concerns over food security. However, the logic follows that by the establishment of new forests, existing agricultural land could be shielded from sand encroachment and dust storms, thereby bolstering food security and ensuring long-term agricultural sustainability. Water scarcity presents a pressing challenge in China, with a staggering 400 out of 600 cities are facing water shortages, and over 60% of groundwater reserves are deemed unfit for human consumption due to pollution. In addressing this issue, forests emerge as vital allies, as they play a pivotal role in regulating water cycles, with afforestation projects proving particularly effective. China has added over 7 million hectares of forested area from 2015 to 2020 alone. This expansion has contributed to improved soil infiltration rates and reduced surface runoff, translating into tangible benefits for water resource management. Desertification presents not only environmental challenges but also geopolitical concerns for China. With the potential to destabilize ecosystems and contribute to land degradation, desertification may lead to migration and social unrest, particularly in arid regions bordering China. Given its shared borders with several such countries like Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and Pakistan, China recognizes the security implications of desertification in these regions. To address these concerns, increasing forest cover in these areas is the best way out. And it is not out of place to mention that China faces criticism on various environmental issues. Large-scale greening projects serve as a tool to showcase ecological efforts and bolster its image as a responsible global actor, enhancing its soft power on the international stage. Not only this, but these projects also serve as testing grounds for innovative technologies like drought-resistant plant varieties, water-efficient irrigation systems, and remote monitoring tools. Successful implementation of these projects leads to commercialization and export, boosting China's technological leadership. The largest initiative by China is the Great Green Wall, designed to combat desertification and environmental challenges in its northern regions. Stretching over 4,500 kilometers from Xinjiang to Heilongjiang, this project involves planting trees, shrubs, and grasses across a width of 5 to 70 kilometers. Since its launch in 1978, over 66 billion trees have been planted, covering an area approximately the size of France. The aim is to stabilize soil, reduce wind erosion, and restore degraded land, creating a green buffer zone that mitigates desert spread and promotes sustainable land management practices in vulnerable areas. In northwestern China, the Loess Plateau Greening Campaign targets the Loess Plateau region, an area highly susceptible to soil erosion and land degradation. Through afforestation and soil conservation measures, the campaign has restored over 35,000 square kilometers of degraded land, benefiting millions of people and improving the ecological health of the region. To protect the grassland ecosystems across the country, the National Grassland Conservation and Restoration Project was launched in 2000, covering over 100 million hectares of grasslands. Since its launch, the project has restored over 40 million hectares of degraded grasslands, promoting biodiversity, improving livestock grazing practices, and enhancing ecosystem services. China's bold initiative to turn deserts into forests represents a profound commitment to ecological restoration and sustainable development. From combating desertification to mitigating climate change and enhancing biodiversity, this ambitious endeavor holds far-reaching implications for China's environment economy, and global influence. Yet, amidst the remarkable progress, challenges persist, from the vast scale of desertification to technological limitations and policy enforcement hurdles. As China navigates these obstacles, it underscores the imperative for comprehensive strategies and collaborative efforts across sectors to realize its vision of lush, vibrant woodlands. Moreover, China's journey raises thought-provoking questions. What lessons can the world learn from China's approach to combating desertification? And ultimately, what legacy will China's Green Revolution leave for future generations? As China continues to rewrite the narrative of ecological restoration, these questions serve as guiding beacons, illuminating the path toward a more sustainable and resilient future for our planet. This was all for this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribing to our channel.